what's up with Sean Baligian?
What up, this is Joyke Bell here on the Baligian and Bell Show.
Make sure you check us out on the Woodward Sports Network. What is up? Glad you could join us wherever you may be. My name is Sean Baligian. He is Joyke Bell. It's Baligian and Bell on a Tuesday morning. It's not just any Tuesday. It is
Transformation Tuesday.
And I saw a transformation today. Mm-hmm. I watched a transformation today with my own two eyes.
What was it?
You. I watched you transform into Sports Update Guy. Good morning, everybody. 11:01, 1 minute after the hour 11. Joyke Bell with you. Traffic and weather together on the nines. We'll get to that in a second. Well done. We got to share that with people, what you did.
Oh, man.
No, we have to show. No, don't know me.
No.
Joyke, no, for
real.
real.
You're overkill a little bit, Sean. I was okay.
Art, you know what? I'm calling on Art. Art. Am I being sincere? Joyke got it.
He really did.
We watched it happen.
I'm honestly going to say I'm impressed. Like, the growth. And I'm being serious. Like, I know we dog on each other a lot, Joyke, but honestly, your growth with the show, and I'm not just kissing your ass, I'm saying it with meaning, it's been impressive. You know, see, this is why I don't do nice things. This is why I just choose to just...
So, okay, listen.
God, I appreciate the Art. No, honestly.
Listen,
Art, you my guy, man.
I gotta give you the behind the scenes, and I'm gonna try to tie this into what Joyke does. Okay. So we do these sports updates here. We do like these 15 to 20 second sports updates here that we do both on video and we do just audio. So what happens is...
Hold on, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cut you. I'm sorry, Sean. But everybody's asking, can we get those same shirts you have on right now online at thewoodwardsports.com?
Do you want this shirt? You guys want this shirt?
We need a no chair shirt. We really do.
Let's get a no chair shirt. I'm totally down with that. Absolutely.
We're selling no chairs. Stop it, Joyke. Sorry, Grammy Whammy.
See?
Sorry, Grammy Whammy.
Grammy Whammy was nice to me yesterday. I thank you, Grammy Whammy. I appreciate that. No, but listen. So here's the deal. I have to come in around a little bit after 10, and I do like these sports updates at play.
Give them an update. Give them a little tease.
Yeah, give them a quick 15 seconds.
Are you ready? All right.
I'll count it down. 3, 2, 1.
Hey, what's up? It's Sean Baligian here for Woodward Sports. Super Bowl week. Who do you like? We've got the Chiefs. We've got the Patriots. Of course, we'll be talking about that. I think the Pistons play tonight. We better keep an eye on that. For all things sports, make sure you check out Woodward Sports and woodwardsports.com.
Beautiful.
Right, that was good. That was good. Just
it was Gouda. Did you see that cheese dripping from it? It's cheesy.
Very cheesy.
And so basically what
happened... I
had
to do that today. They made me do that today.
So, Joyke did it today. And it's so funny because, and I mean this like with love, Joyke, you psyched yourself out because I think you were so worried about doing it. And then when you did it, you were like, dude, this is nothing.
Yeah.
Right? Fair statement?
Yeah, it was nothing.
Okay, nothing.
Absolutely right. So I got the news last night that I was going to start practicing today. I didn't know it was going to be live today. That's what they're using on the radio. So they came and they threw a twist in there. But as an athlete, we like the pressure. We thrive under pressure. So I think I did okay for my first try. It's only going to get better from here. We'll see how it goes. Yeah, but I had a great coach. Sean was right there the whole time. Sean was there the whole time. Hey, it's Joyke Bell here with the Rift. Here with the DraftKings Rift. Yeah. Today we have NFL world still buzzing about the Matthew Stafford trade over to the Los Angeles Rams. And trade, we get Jared Goff, a couple future first rounders. You know,
it was great. It was, and then it was funny because like Stick from the morning show. Stick was like, "No, don't teach him. Don't teach him the cheesy way."
And that made me want to do it more.
Yes,
that made me want to do it more.
Yes, the cheese tastes good, even if I do say Patriots instead of Bucks. You know, but you know,
I mean, it was a teaser. It wasn't.
Yeah, it's just, you know, and that's so basically what this does is this kind of plays throughout the day on a couple different media vehicles and everything. And it was funny because, Joy, you know what? It's almost like reps in football. Like, you could give me 1,000 reps, and I'm never, ever, ever, ever going to be able to do what you guys do. Right. But the difference is for guys like you is it's a few reps, and you can easily do what guys like me do. I mean, that's just the reality of it. It just takes a little time and practice. That's it. And
that's
so,
all it does.
You know, they wanted Joy to start doing some of these and everything, and I hope we can get some visual evidence of this in a few minutes. Art, you let me know when we have that visual. We're working on it right now.
Oh, God.
See, Stick said no puking. Yes, Stick came out yelling no puking because we were going, you know, I was doing hey, we've got 2 from Zepp coming up at 2 today. Who do you got? 2 for 2.
Hey,
right
everybody.
Here on Woodward Sports and woodwardsports.com. And then the music starts playing, right? You got to walk that post up. But, Joik, you nailed it. You did. You nailed it, man.
You the man. You're the man.
I don't know about that.
Let's not make his head too big, though. Come on.
I'm telling you, it was good coaching. I'm telling you. Like,
you're welcome.
Yeah.
We are going to show you the video just to show you what the process was for Joik, though, and it was like anything else. You know what? You get a couple reps out there, and then the next thing you know, you're nailing it, and you can do these things in your sleep. And you know, like I know a guy like Maz who's been doing updates forever. Joik, honestly, you'll do it in one take. Like it's just like you know, Arda put up his hands 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and the next thing you know, you're going, hey, check it out, woodwardsports.com, Super Bowl week. Who do you like? Blah 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 blah, blah. And then you're done in 15 seconds. You know what the key is at the end, walking it up when Art puts up his hand, and you go 5, 4, 3. That's when you either elongate or you speed up, you know, to time it out perfectly. You know, if you're running short on time, you go, check it out, woodwardsports.com. If you're not, you're going, you want sports? We got sports. Woodward Sports, pregnant pause for effect, .com.
You know what, though? The pause effect on the Pistons in Utah tonight. Do they play tonight? Not quite sure.
Ooh, it was beautiful watching.
He's getting there.
You see what I'm saying? That's some good brie cheese. That's what we need. We need that cheese.
We need it.
Now you just got to not look like a serial killer because you literally look like a lumberjack serial killer today.
You kind of do.
I'm a little terrified.
Look
at there it is. There it is. The man
Could you
behind
imagine
the microphone.
that, like being really mad at you and just taking a running start at you?
That was the dude.
Darling, the light of my life.
Yes. He's made it full circle.
He wouldn't have to kill me. He'd get like 5 feet away from me, and my heart would just give out. Like joints, the super slow. I'd look at him. That'd be it. I'd be taking a nap. That would just be awesome. Richard said, "When I see Sean, all I can think about is Lars." You liked that, Lars from Metallica. I guess I kind of got that thing going on. I look as uncomfortable as Lars does behind the drum kit.
You're probably better at the drums than him.
Oh,
he's
wow.
a terrible drummer. Anyway.
Rover, wanderer, no man, vagabond, call me what you will.
Call you what you will.
Fantastic. Yeah, do you guys like my shirt? I'm going to start a whole new line. Hi, I'm Sean Baligian. I'm not here for chairs. I'm against chairs. And if you're against chairs, please go to nochairsever.com and we'll hook you up with a shirt just like this. All proceeds go to me. So make sure you check it out, nochairs.com. Screw chairs. Austin wants to go camping. You love camping. I'm a big fan of camping. Joik, you know, one thing that happened during the course of this morning, and this is something else we were talking about, you, just for our benefit, for those of you out there that are watching this, what happens, and for some reason, Fish, this screen froze here, but what happens when you come in is, so the night before a show, we basically get a show planner, right? And so, you prep, and sometimes you know exactly what the show is going to entail. And like, for example, yesterday we were going to talk about the deal, and just to recap the deal, I really like what the Lions got out of the deal. I don't like the idea of Jared Goff being the quarterback of the future, but I like him the next couple of years, right? That's fine, because the Lions are building something that's totally cool. But a lot of times things happen, and this morning, unfortunately, in sports across the board, and let's be honest, is it safe to say, Joik, that the NFL season went better than any of us expected in regards to COVID? Is that a fair statement?
It did. And some of the protocols that they put into play, I didn't know, right? You have some teams, they give their players wristbands that they have to wear at all times so they can keep track of them to make sure they're not going around anyone outside of their norm. And then if you do, you have to, there's consequences. And so I think the steps they took to make sure people were safe during this new norm, right? During this new norm, I think played a major part in the success rate of the NFL playing the season.
I'm drop dead stunned it went as well as it did.
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't mean that it didn't go off with a hitch. I mean, there were issues. I mean, the Lions had to deal with issues. Obviously, the Denver Broncos played a game with no quarterback. They should have signed Joik, because I know Joik can play quarterback. He would have been better than that poor guy that started for the Broncos that day.
You see that form?
Dude, I saw it. I saw you throw touchdown passes, mind you.
Oh, you did?
I did.
You're
darn
you
right
did.
I did. Don't
you
think
did.
I don't remember that.
Dang.
But it's creeping in the NBA, and it's creeping in the NHL as well. And it's unfortunate, obviously, for the obvious reasons. I don't want to see this spread in any way, shape, or form. I don't want to see anybody get sick. The day that we can stop talking about this will be one of the happiest days of my miserable life. I mean that. For a myriad of reasons. But it's funny, now it's creeping into the NHL as well. The Sabres and Islanders tonight postponed because of the COVID-19 protocol. And let's hope this doesn't grow like wildfire, because I don't know about you guys. I'm just going to speak for me, all right? And this is where I'll ask you for your opinion. Everybody out there watching us, wherever you may be, and Joik, I'll ask for your opinion. You know what? When I'm sitting at home on a Monday night, and my 15-year-old daughter is sitting next to me, and we're watching a hockey game, and I don't care what darn game it is, all right? If it's your favorite team and they happen to win big, you're even happier. I don't care what game it is. I forget about all the crap that's been going on for the last 11 months. I do. In that moment, things seem normal. I'm sitting with my daughter, honey, what do you want? You want me to make some popcorn? Do you want me to, put a little olive oil on there? What variety of dad popcorn do you want me to make? So for 2.5 hours, and I know this sounds cheesy, but I'm going to say it anyway. For 2.5 hours, things are normal. Things are right. I forget about having to go outside and wear a mask. I forget about, for the longest time, not being able to go to whatever restaurant or whatever place that I want to go. I'm serious. And then, you wake up today and there is, I guess the best way to say it is, it's like that alarm clock goes off and we're back to reality, and you're like, uh-oh, is this going to affect the big game on Sunday? We're not allowed to say that word. Maz knows that. Do you guys know that? That's a real thing, right? We are legitimately not supposed to say that word.
Why not?
It's an NFL trademark is basically the way it was described to me. Yeah.
It's like similar to Bruce Buffer. You can't say let's.
Don't say it.
Yeah,
what can't you say?
Okay, all right. So
can you spell it?
Michael Buffer, who is the famous ring guy. Don't say it. Do not say it. I know.
Joik's looking. I put the camera on Joik because he's whispering.
All right, somebody go whisper into Joik's ear. Don't say it. Don't say it. Can I tell you how real that is? This is not a joke, okay?
It's huge.
It's. I know of a radio station in town that got fined $30,000. $30,000 because somebody said that quote.
What?
I'm not.
What quote?
I can't say
Don't
it.
enjoy it.
Don't say it.
Does it start with an S and end with a B?
No, here.
No, it's
You know what?
you know when they start fights, when the fights are started,
Don't say
and they
it.
say,
Don't say it. Okay.
Yeah.
Don't. You
'Cause
can't.
the
yeah.
buffers will
Here,
sue you.
I'll be right back. Okay. Here, Joy. I'm gonna.
don't even get it on
Don't ever
camera.
say that. Don't ever say that.
Okay.
I'm serious. Don't.
Oh, and we
Can I
have
say
the video, by the way.
Best bit better a bubble. Can you say that?
You can't even
Maybe?
no. We have the video, Sean, of Joik. If you guys want to play. Oh wow, it looks really good.
I'll get to it in a second.
Okay,
But
okay.
let me
looks
finish
really good.
this.
It looks really good. Man.
Okay.
Yeah, there are a lot of things that are trademarked, and I know this if you're doing a broadcast, okay? Like, Joik, do you remember when the last couple of years we went up to whatchamacallit? We went up to Soaring Eagle, right? You and I went up to Soaring Eagle. We were told we were not allowed to say SB, and we were not allowed to use the team names. I'm serious. Day of the game, that's how serious they are. You are not. You have to hit dump. So if I say to you, that team that wears pewter down in Tampa, but I call them their name. Legitimately, and do you remember this? Because we were keeping track. It was Corey Schlesinger, it was you, it was Herman Moore, it was Rob Rubik. We were keeping track of how many times we had to hit dump. We hit dump 31 times. 31, because when you're having conversation, you just say, "Hey, the team." So you're supposed to say Kansas City, or you're supposed to say Tampa, but you can't say the team name. I wish I was making this up. I wish I was making this up. I'm not making it up. That's real. And you're not allowed to say SB. You're supposed to say the big game. Please don't shoot the messenger. Don't. I'm being serious.
This is all Sean's fault.
It is Sean's fault.
So, and that quote that I just gave you, the famous ring announcer, there are actually people that are paid to listen for that.
Yeah, he's got lawyers on tap.
Yeah, I'm not joking.
He really does.
If you spit it out right now, somebody could go, "Ooh, I'm going to contact this guy. I'm going to get a chunk of that change. Maybe
get a
he'll
chunk
give
of
me
that."
$1,000 for narking on you for saying that." And then this company gets fined $30,000. True story. Maz, I think you know what radio station it happened to. It happened in this town. Somebody said it, and 2 weeks later, you were contacted.
You knocking for what is that? 3%? 3.7%?
Yeah, 1/30th. 1/30th.
Yeah. I need at least.
You can't
20.
negotiate.
You can negotiate.
No, you can't.
Everything. Hold up. First of all, everything in this world is negotiable. That's first. That's business. I got to teach you some
true.
stuff, Art.
1000%.
Everything in this world is negotiable.
Okay, well, if that's the case, I want a pay raise, and I'm not
It's
negotiating
negotiable.
any lower.
It's negotiable. Hey, it's negotiable. Sometimes the negotiation table might not work.
Can
but
you
hey, it was
represent me?
negotiable. Huh?
Can you represent me in the negotiations? I'll bring you.
Yeah, for sure.
Serial killer
Like
Joey.
so if you're getting paid like 25 now, we'll try to get you to 15.
Let's do that together.
We'll try to get you to 15.
Okay, no, that's not how this works.
So listen, Steve, you had a great. Steve goes, "There goes the monthly budget." Yes, please don't. Great line. Stick said, "You can say anything as long as it's not attached to money. You can say watch the Super Bowl, but you can't say come to the. You can't say come to the party. You can't do it." So when we had that party, that big game party, we could not say SB, and we could not say Buccaneers or Chiefs. We couldn't say it.
I'm so radio trained that I don't even like the fact that you said those two words.
Oh, it's incredible, isn't it?
It makes because I've been sued before working with a radio company, and it's the worst thing ever because your job's up. If they're coming after you for 30 grand, your gig's up, bro. They're gonna get rid of you to save that salary. So like you guys even saying it right now, like it just makes me like it's like a trigger word.
I have a funny story that I won't tell here.
Well, I'm glad I know about this now because I didn't know the rules to this because. For whatever reason.
I had to have a meeting with an anti-defamation league once.
Oh.
It was simultaneously the scariest moment of my life and the funniest moment of my life because what somebody tried to say I said and what I said were two entirely different things. And I can't tell the story on the air, but I had to bring that up because I can relate. I'll leave it at that. I can relate.
All these secrets.
So listen, so here's the deal. If you say something like that line, like I'm not joking, and somebody out there is watching, their mindset is, Joik, and you're right, you could negotiate it, but their mindset is, that's $1,000 I didn't have, for example. And there are people that listen all around the nation to shows like this, and if you say those words, that makes that gentleman $30,000. Minus what he pays you for narking on the entity. That's
I need at least 30%.
1,000% real.
I need at least like 20,
you better up that to
25%.
10 G's for me, man. I'll narc on my mom. I want you to know my mother was on the radio and she said those words.
It's so terrible.
You kidding me?
No, my question is this,
Mom,
though.
I'll throw you under the bus so
this
fast.
is the question. No,
I'm
this is the
joking.
question,
Love
though,
you, Mom.
Sean. All right,
Yeah.
answer this. We have a guest on, and they say it.
It comes after the network. It goes after the network. They would come
All right,
after us.
so they'll come after the network, and then what? You can't fire that person to save yourself because they don't work for her.
No, they would come. So, like, say we have a guest on and they say those two words and they
Right.
say it in a money grabbing way or for
Mm-hmm.
advertisers or whatever. They would come after the network itself because even though you can't control their words, it's still happening on
Absolutely.
your network. So you're
Right.
responsible. It's just like people swearing
So
on
my
the radio.
question is this, though. If they worked here, we fired them, then we'll be good? Or
No, well, that's where you get into litigations and you sit down and
enjoy. You know what the saving?
want money.
Do you know what the saving grace is?
Oh, no.
It's the dump button. It's the dump button.
yeah.
And that's why, like when we were doing those shows at Soaring
did you
Eagle.
dump mine when I said it?
No, I don't have a dump button. No, there goes my gig. You're gonna have Corey, who's more intelligent, sitting here next week.
Fish, could you give me another piece of
This is,
masking tape?
hey, I want you guys to enjoy art this week. We don't know his future here at the station.
But you
nor
said
at the
you were gonna
network.
negotiate for me. Will you help? Please have my back, man.
Sometimes you have to make sacrifices for the team. Sometimes you got to sacrifice your pawn.
Oh, I'm a pawn.
This no, and see, you know what? We're learning a lesson here. I'm glad that Tom Mazaway, Professor Mazaway, is in the room right now because this is a conversation that we had like off the mic yesterday. Sometimes what you think you're going to talk about at 10 o'clock in the morning, things change during the course of the day. You know what I mean? And it's funny. It's funny that we didn't plan it this way, but it's like, ooh, things have happened kind of in life and things like that kind of change what we were supposed to talk about that. And I don't think that people, I mean, you guys let me know. I have the Facebook viewers up right now. Did you guys know all that stuff existed, whether it be the dirty statement from Michael Buffer or, the Super Bowl and games and stuff like that? I don't think the average person knows that's real. We have to deal with that. Fish, you can bring that up. Yeah, come on up.
We have to hit a break, but I feel like we should do a great segue now and make the people wait. So we have an amazing video from Joik Bell coming up that you're going to love. Sean, why don't you tell them more about it and send them to break, baby.
I will tell everybody about that after I tell you about MyBookie. Take advantage of MyBookie's prop builder and live in-game betting where every single run, throw, and yes, touchdown is another chance for you to put cash in your pocket. All you need to do is visit their mobile-friendly website today and you can get your deposit matched halfway up to $1,000. But you have to use that promo code Woodward. That's right, Woodward, when you make your first deposit. The best part is they make it simple with a variety of ways to deposit instantly, including credit card, bank transfer, Bitcoin, and more. All jokes aside, MyBookie is the place to go. Whether you're on the go, you're sitting at home with your daughter with a scrunchie in your hair watching hockey, MyBookie is the place to go to get paid. Bet, win, get paid. My bookie. Remember, you got to use promo code Woodward to get 50% off of your first deposit match.
I have to say something real quick. My favorite part is when you're doing those reads, it's Joik's reaction because he looks at you in such like astonishment and like, what is he doing?
How cheesy is he?
It's so beautiful. It's so beautiful.
Did you catch that on the air?
Oh, I got it. I cut it to you a couple times. Yeah. All right. We'll be back.
I'm looking to bring on another HVAC tech right now.
We're recruiting 5 to 10 techs a month.
We're looking to grow and expand. Every new tech we hire is from Northwestern Tech.
The hands-on training is fantastic.
They're always my first call.
We love hiring Northwestern Tech grads.
They come out trained and ready to work.
Our program is only 10 and a half months, and our next classes are starting soon. So why wait?
I'm looking to hire
Hire a graduate
of Northwestern Tech. Northwestern Tech.
Northwestern Tech.
Northwestern Tech.
Hey, it's Joey from Woodward Sports, and I am here in downtown Fenton at Bridge Street Exchange. This place has so many amazing things for guys, and ladies, this is the hidden spot that you got to come check out. I'm talking thorough good boots, best boots ever. They have barware, they got the Stormy Cromer hats, they got Carhartt hats, a huge Carhartt selection. They even got Snoop Dogg underwear. So go check them out, bridgestreetexchange.com, and use the code word WSN for 15% off.
Somebody asked, why does your shirt say chair? It says chair with a circle around it and a cross through it, for what it's worth. All right, in case you missed it, Joik was doing sports updates this morning. And this was new for Joik, this process of nailing the sports updates. Just a heads up, we're going to talk more about the Lions deal, obviously. Get your take on that. A guy that knows up close and personal what it's like for playing for Dan Campbell, local guy, GVSU guy, I might add. Tim Lelito is going to join us at about noon. But GVSU, he's a Laker. In case you missed it earlier, Joik Bell made his sports update debut this morning. We'll let you be the judge.
Hey, it's Drake Bell here with your DraftKings Riff on Sports. Right now, NFL world is still buzzing on the trade with Matthew Stafford to the LA Rams. Piston game canceled last night due to COVID. They're in Utah tonight. Do they play? Not quite so sure. Hey, you want sports? We have some.
So yeah, that was it. That was it.
What do you think?
You know, it was good. It was good. You know what? I wish we would have had Fish back there with the camera to catch all the bloopers we had before.
Something tells me he snuck around and was.
You know, I had to tell him to go get the camera out. Like, we had to do the bloopers. But you know what? And then, you know, the crazy part was that when we did the first take and came in here and did the second take, and I balled the paper up and threw it away, they came in and said, you know what? You have to do the green screen again because it was muted. Your speaker was muted. I said, and you know what? With no paper, I nailed them both on the very first try.
All right, you see what the people are saying? Steve said nice. Jenna said great job, Joik. Brandon gave you a 9.8 out of 10. Woodward Sports gave you an 11 out of 10.
Look at that.
Thanks, man. You took another gig of mine. Are you happy?
No.
Why don't you learn how to produce pretty soon, too, and I'll just go home and pet my cat all day. Thanks, Joik.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Then he said class act, Joik. Fremont said good job, Joik.
Thank you very
Richard
much.
said meh. We'll take meh.
Meh.
We'll take meh.
Richard's a Debbie Downer. He's always in the
There's
comments.
They said we
Debbie
need Big E.
Downer.
Hey, Marcellus, great 10, great job. Appreciate it, bro. Oh, Grandma, don't you ever put my nickname in the public.
Oh, what is it? What is it? Grab it real quick.
Morky. I need to know what Morky is. Can I please hear what Morky is?
Don't you, Grandma, why would you do that? You know that's a family secret, and you're going to go put it on the
Morky.
internet.
You
But
called
it's
me
okay.
Artie the other day.
Hold on. But you know what, though, Grammy Whammy? I have a video that I have specifically of you that I'm going to post on Instagram now. Since we're putting personal family stuff out there into the public, I have something very special for you coming up in the future.
I have the behind-the-scenes video, by the way.
So,
Oh, you do have the behind
Yeah,
the scenes?
it's 12 seconds long. It's from our Instagram. I can play it real quick.
Can we play the behind the scenes video of Joik? All right, let's play the behind the scenes video of Joik. Here's Joik Bell getting ready for perfection.
Keep going, Joy. Keep going.
It's your
Back.
Well,
The
You know
cameras
what?
are always
Rome
on.
wasn't built in a day, Joik.
you know, it's funny, though. Because I was trying to do the cheesy
The cheesy
boy.
one?
I was trying
The
to do the
puking?
cheesy one. Yeah, the pukey one.
Hey.
Hey. I was trying to do that one just to kind of play and then stick. He got a hold of it and he tried to sneak the phone out. That's what he tried to do. That's.
It's beautiful. It's beautiful.
Love you
I'm
too,
not
Grandma
letting
Whammy.
Morky go. I'm not.
So so let's go through it. Let's just go through it. So my grandfather, he gives all the kids, grandkids, great grandkids a nickname, right? So my mother name is, he called me Thunder Thighs. I forgot what he called my aunt. He called her something, I can't remember. My sister name is just her first name, Ambi Danielle. My niece name is Winter Grace. My son name is Sumu. My nephew name is Jumi Bug, or I don't know how my grandfather came up with this name. And then the twins, the youngest one is Kermit and Toad. All right, and then I was Morky Mork.
It's a grandma thing, isn't it?
She didn't come up with the name though. He comes up with all the nicknames. Ooh. And so he came up with, I don't know, this is like your era. You might know it was a show back in your time called like
Mork and Mindy.
Yeah, my Morky.
That's right, the late Robin Williams and Pam Dauber. It was a staple of sitcom genius back in the late 70s.
Yeah, and so when he saw my name, he thought of Moik. He thought of that, and and so he called me Moiky Moik. And then my grandmother took that and started calling me Moiky. Family name, it stays there.
If we're being honest, and because you were thrown out, I'm Beanie Blue.
You Beanie Blue?
I'm Beanie Blue. There's no way in
I didn't
Hades
throw
I'm
it out
telling
there.
you I'm
Grandmother
not. But
took
I'm Beanie Blue. That's and unfortunately it's become Beanie or Bluey or Beanie Bluey, Bluey Beanie. Yeah, it's unfortunate. My mother is the one that drops all of those nicknames for the grandkids, and every kid has a different nickname. But my kids in particular cry over Beanie Blue. They think that's the funniest thing on earth.
Yeah,
it's basically my first name.
Yeah, so so Grammy Ramy, she does like the cooking. She does this thing where she'll make me a grilled cheese sandwich. When I used to come home from college, she'll make these grilled cheese sandwiches. And then one thing, you guys haven't tried this, you should try it. She'll get like this fresh made jelly or jam from like that was made in the area. She has it, and then when she makes the grilled cheese, she puts that jam on the very top of it. Delicious. I never knew. The first time I tried it.
Sounds great.
And so I was with a couple friends who also played, and I did it in front of them. Like, what are you doing? And then they tried it. They said, you know what? This is actually pretty good. I would never have thought it. And then my grandfather guy, he'll take us hunting, taught me how to fish, taught me how to gut a deer. Like he was a person that, I watched and, to drag it through. So he's that type of grandfather. So learned a lot from those two. Love it. How to fillet a fish, all that. Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
By the way, the grilled cheese might be the most underrated single entity that one can eat. The grilled cheese constantly gets disrespected, and I don't get it. A grilled cheese, it's simplistic.
Delicious.
With tomato soup.
There are so many different things you can do with a grilled cheese. Oh, do you know what I do to a grilled cheese? They have like a jalapeno pepper.
Oh, here we go. We start talking
about
food.
Jalapeno popper grilled cheese next door that I gotta try.
Have you guys seen that new movie on Disney called Soul?
It was
yes,
great.
It's a beautiful movie.
It was outstanding.
You saw it?
It was beautiful.
You saw when he starts playing the piano, then he drifts off until nowhere.
That's Sean with
That's
food.
Sean with food. When Sean gets to talking about food, he drifts off and just till. I put it on my smoker, and I wait about 10 hours, and I take it out, and I smack it, and it has that jiggle.
Yeah, he's got to talk about the jiggle.
It talks about the juggle. It juggles. It just want to just smack it around. It's a meme out when it's a meme out. I can picture that meme with Sean. Sir, I take two of those to go, sir. But sir, that's somebody else. I take 2 of those to go, sir.
Richard knows what I'm talking about. Dat jiggle. Dat jiggle is real. I'm telling you. I'm going to prove it to you guys on February 20th. You are going to be transformed There will be a metamorphosis. Both of you. Well, Joik, you won't eat it, but you'll get to see Dat jiggle with your own two eyes.
Stop saying that.
And then you're gonna know what Dat jiggle. See, and then you're gonna beg me to say Dat jiggle.
It makes me so uncomfortable. Dat jiggle.
Hey,
Stop it.
what makes you so uncomfortable? Are you
It's just how he says it.
Are you not comfortable with yourself?
Dat jiggle.
Everybody should be comfortable with their own dat jiggle.
See, I really wish you guys didn't, because now I am thinking about like when I get home, I have to fire my smoker up, and I'm having as I told Art, I'm having a little trial run tonight with some of my boys for the big barbecue coming up February 20th, and it's like now I'm all right. Well, I have to make sure that I have the cornstarch for one variety of wing. And then I have to get my cracked chicken. I got to get some buttermilk. I need some kicking chicken seasoning. You know what I mean? It really does go back to that.
It's tough being you.
It's a tough life. This is tough life, Sean. Tough life. Hey.
I don't know how we got here, but that's all right. No, listen. I'm just going to come full circle. The reality of COVID is rearing its ugly head again. Obviously, we've been talking about let them play, and I'll be point blank honest with you. I don't think it looks good for winter sports in this state, and I think it's crying shame, and I'll keep talking about it, especially with right now as we know it, 48 other states going. But the reality of COVID is also hitting in the NBA, in the NHL. In case you're just joining us, of course, I think you know this already. The Pistons have already seen some games postponed. There'll probably be another one tonight. It's not official yet. The NHL postponed a game tonight, and a couple of different Chiefs are being, contact traced. They were in contact with somebody. They have not tested positive, and we saw the Lions go through that a couple times this year. But as you well know, this is a situation where they have to sit out the next few days, and it'll take you right up to the Super Bowl on Sunday. So this is the reality of what we're dealing with, and I hope that we don't start to see this league-wide in the NBA and the NHL, because, again, speaking for one man, it has been a much-needed distraction. And, of course, baseball is now in a position where – and baseball is a different entity, okay? Joik, I think you can relate to this in a certain regard. The NFL and the NFLPA don't have a real good relationship. Is that the best way to say it?
Yeah.
It's not a real good relationship.
You don't think so?
I don't think so.
Why is that?
I think you guys deserve more. The NFL Players Association, I do. I think some of the deals in years gone by have been atrocious. I have no other way to say that. And I hope that D. Smith finds a way to get more for you guys, not only while you're playing, but after your careers.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that to kiss your butt. I think of the leagues, the deal that the NFLPA and the NFL have is just a crap deal. I really do. But as cantankerous as that relationship is, baseball and its players union is just, it's a disaster. It really is. I mean, you have two sides that there's no other way to say it. There's zero trust there. They don't trust each other. So in case you missed it, the MLB Players Association came out and said they don't want a 154-game schedule now. Obviously it's normally 162. That was just denied. Now, is this part of the annual dance between the owners and the Players Association? It might be. It might be. Or it could be players are saying, hey, look, this was a grind last year. And, you had a lot of teams that – I'll put it to you this way. I love fantasy baseball. I will not play if the season looks anything like last year. It was a waste of time. It was just – it was a waste of time with guys being out, teams being out, et cetera, et cetera. So we're going to have to keep a close eye on that and see what baseball season looks like. I think if you're an optimistic person – what you're hoping is, okay, maybe by May things will be back to normal, and God forbid we actually have a few people in the stands. I think both the players' union and the owners would love nothing more than that, because that's more money coming in. Right. But right now, as always, follow the money. That money is the sticking issue, especially under COVID. So it's a tough predicament, but keep an eye on how this develops in the NHL and in the NBA, because you're starting to see more of these games postponed. And in college basketball, heck, Michigan had to shut it down.
They did have to shut it down. They did have to shut it down.
I know where my son goes to school. DePaul has had a number of games postponed and canceled. This is the reality of this era that we live in.
But this is the science part of it. That's the science part that we want to see, right?
Yeah.
That's the science part that you want to see, that people are contracting it. And we're not saying that when they contract it, they should play. Like in situations like this, we have to, it's the best interest of the athletes, whether it's student athletes or just, professional athletes. I think it's important that we really take the time out and to consider what's really going on. Like, we want people to play, and we want them to get out there and play. But when something like this happens, when you have about, 8 guys on the roster for the Pistons, they just can't play. I mean, that's asking a lot to play a whole NBA game for however long with only 8 players on the roster. Now, are they able to bring guys up from the D League while some of the players are down, and then send them back down? Like, is that, so that's where the tricky parts in the business side of it comes into play. So that's my take on it.
No, I think you're right. And, the reality is, and, again, because unless you live in a fantasy land, it's all about money. I think the owners are in a tough position right now because the TV money is going to be able to tide them over. I don't know how much of a difference it is. Obviously, they'd be making a ton more money if there were fannies in the seat. Make no mistake about that. But I think when you start to talk about, well, do we have to prorate an athlete's contract? Do we have to prorate it with the idea of paying them back, or just say, guys, I'm not paying you for 162 games when you're only playing 148, or whatever the case may be? There are so many moving parts here, and let's make no mistake about it. It comes back to money. Kevin said the NFLPA will never get a W until players don't play, period. There are a lot of people out there that feel that way, Joik, and as a guy who played and was a member of the NFL Players Association, quite frankly, you will be until the day you die. That is a take by many people out there, right? No, we have to put our foot down, even if it means we have to sit out a season, so be it. I don't know if that's the right decision. I'm not sitting here to say that's right or wrong, but I've kind of heard that take from people over the years, that there are some people out there that think, no, until we put our foot down and say we're going to sit out, we are really going to strike, then you're not going to advocate real change. Have you heard that from a lot of your fellow players?
Yeah, I mean, you got to think that the last time we had real change was the last strike.
Yeah.
Last time we had real change, right? You had people who, I remember my godfather was a part of, he was a part of that. I believe he was a rookie that year. And, I mean, if the older guys said we're going to strike, then they all strike. And I remember coming in as a rookie. I played with the center who played in those times, but he played a long time. And that was when players actually ran the team. And he would give me stories about how when he played for, I forget what team he played for, but the players, this particular practice, like, listen, we're not wearing shoulder pads, we're just wearing helmets today. And so he said, okay. He goes and grabs his helmet. He walks out there on the football field. And as he's walking on the football field, the coach walks up to him and says, hey, where's your shoulder pads? Go put on your pads. He said, Coach, they told me we was in helmets. Who told you that? He said the guys' names. He said, who? All right. Just go out there on the field. Go out there. Like, the players really ran the teams like back in those times.
Sure.
Right? It's not like that now. No. Not right now.
Unless it's Peyton Manning.
Unless it's Peyton Manning. Unless it's Peyton Manning.
Sure.
Or guys of that caliber, right? Guys of that caliber. But yeah, it was they were on that type of time back then. We're not on that same time now. It's what the coach say goes, and that's what it is. But you know what though, when Coach Caldwell was here, we had something similar to how it was back then, but it was more professional. We will go into we had we called a leadership council. We would have a member from each position group, and I was blessed enough to be one of the leaders. I was a leader for the running backs, and so it would be me, Calvin Johnson, Glover Quinn, Rasheen Mathis, Dominic Raiola, and like just a group of men in the room, and we'll sit down with the head coach and we'll go over the weekly schedule. This is what we're doing Monday, Tuesday's our day off, Wednesday this is the plan, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. This is the schedule. We would go through this every Monday as a leadership group before we had our walkthrough. And so we had say-so in how we conducted ourselves in practice. And this is something that had to be earned. And this is something we'll talk about as a group. And that was the type of guy that we had with Coach Caldwell that people don't know. Sean. People don't know about Coach Caldwell.
Great
and that's
guy.
why
I'm serious.
No,
I'm not,
great.
not just saying it.
Yeah, and so we were able to and acts like that, right? Acts like that showed us that he respected us as men and that he was giving us more responsibility, and we were more than willing to accept that responsibility. And in order to make sure our team had the right things we needed, we made sure we had the right type of rest, and we knew when we had to work. We took it serious, and so.
Listen and learn. I'm using a quote from my old friend Tom Kowalski, but listen and learn. That's perspective you're not going to get anyplace else. Yeah. Seriously. I mean, you just drop knowledge that people don't get. I got to say, Steve said Glover was the best.
GQ.
GQ
was the man.
I can't tell you how many times GQ saved losers like me, because there were some days, Joik, where you came in after practice or whatever the case may be, and guys scattered and hid. They just weren't in the mood to talk, okay?
Right.
And GQ was there every single day. And I remember the last time I saw him was one of those days. I was in there and I had to do a short interview for the pregame show, and I saw him and he just had this look on his face that screamed, "Please don't bother me." Like, he really did. He had that look on his face. And I went up to him very kind. I go, "Can you give me 2 minutes? I need something." He goes, "Yeah." And he did it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So he saved my butt. And I think, Joik, not only did people in the media appreciate that, I think guys in the room appreciated that. GQ stood and spoke a lot of times when other guys wouldn't do it. And I think that's why he was such a loved commodity in that room.
Yeah, he was. GQ was, he's been around. So I played against GQ, and I was blessed enough to have him on my team. Great leader. He had great playmaker ability. Very smart. Very smart on the field. His football IQ was off the charts. And how he was able to take the younger kids under his wing, the younger players, and to kind of help mold them into being professionals. You can see these people are going on in their career to be very successful, like a Quandre Diggs, like a Darius Slay. These guys are thriving at their positions now, and it's because not saying this because they had GQ, but they had leaders like GQ to kind of help mold them, to show them this is how the NFL is, this is how you prepare, this is what you need to prepare for, this is how you take care of your body, this is what you need to eat, this is what you need to do post-practice, this is what you need to do pre-practice. It's all these different things from yoga. I remember GQ had this doctor from Houston that he worked with, and he had this practice where it was like acupuncture and dry needling in one, but it was a certain technique that his father bloodline came up with. And I would ask him, if you can't do this, who can we call to get this done? He said, no one. Our family came up with this technique, and they only passed it down to the first son of every generation. I said, wait, what? He said, yeah, they only passed this technique down to the first son of every generation. So these are the type of people that GQ was bringing here, and we had to make appointments. We'll get a hotel rooms, and we go there, we get this thing done. And I'm telling you, walk out feeling like a new man. But it can be a little painful, but it works. It works. And so yeah, it was things like that GQ brought to the team that, once again, people on the outside will never know about.
I love having conversation with you guys because you bring up really good points. I want to get back to something Scott said a couple minutes ago, but Steve, you made me laugh. He said, so D-Mac saved you, Joik saved you, and Quinn saved you. I'm not joking when I say this. You can pick teams. Like for the Red Wings, if you knew you wanted a comment, you went and saw McCarty, you went and saw Chris Draper, period. That's the way it was. With the Lions back in the day when I first started, Joik, it was if you wanted a well thought out I mean, intelligent comment, you went and talked to Herman Moore, okay? After a loss, you went to the other side of the locker room out in Pontiac. You went and talked to Brett Perriman or Benny Blades. They'd give you gold after a loss. They just did. So you knew, like, I'm not trying to be funny. You knew which guys you could get, kind of what you were looking for. So it is funny. Scott said this. I want to read this. Because,
So who did you go? So question: who did you go to on the lines and like?
GQ.
GQ.
Absolutely. GQ.
What about Nate B?
You gave good quotes. You gave good quotes.
No, I was horrible. No, I was so quiet. I didn't.
No, you gave good quotes, dude. You did. Like that Detroit versus everybody. Come on, dude.
Yeah.
But GQ, you could tell when you talked to GQ, he took in what you were saying, and the way he responded. He's a very intelligent man, and that's not to suggest that you or anybody else isn't intelligent, but it's amazing how he was just very good about it.
I'm gonna take that personally, Sean. But carry on. But carry on.
All right, so Scott said this is something that has worked in the NHL, and I want to get your take on this. Scott said it's really hard for the guys making $15 million a year to tell the guys making league minimum and have a 3-year career to sit out a year and not get paid so other people can make more money. Do you know how the NHL Players Association and the NHL owners got to that point? They take care of the rank and file players now. What happens is, Joy, the good teams lock up 2 or 3 studs, right? They lock up 2 or 3 studs, and that takes a big portion of their salary cap already set aside, right? So what happens is after Joik Bell plays for the Detroit Red Wings, okay, and you got your bridge contract, and you hit the free agent market, okay?
Right.
The Detroit Red Wings can't pay you what your market value is. They just can't, okay? So what happens, unless they decide that you're one of the studs that deserves that $8 million contract. So what happens is if you're not at that point, rank and file players then become this giant group where teams almost bid on you. And you might not get that $8 million contract a year, but you're probably going to get a $5 million contract because you're the best of that next group.
Like $5 million a year, just
Yes. So what happens is you're not going to get that money, but you're going to get higher money than you did in years gone by. So in the NHL, the rank and file players love it. They're never going to admit it publicly, but trust me, they've said it privately. I've asked this to many people, and they said, this is great. Rank and file players, non-stars, Pro Bowlers, NHL All-Star, whatever, they love the deal they have because that middle group has suddenly gone like this. Their contracts are higher because if there's a very good player like Joik Bell on the market, teams are going to bid for you. And so I'm your agent. I tell Joik Bell's agent, just so you know, the Ottawa Senators just put a $4.5 million deal for 4 years. Well, we can do better than that. We'll give them 5 over 5. So what you're seeing is the rank and file players benefiting from it. And so I think, Scott, your point is brilliant because what's happening is people are going, well, no, you can't take that. We need a better deal. In the meantime, the rank and file players are going, screw you. I just got a $4.5 million deal over 5 years. I'm normally not going to be able to get that. So it's kind of amazing how that happened. Listen, we're going to take a quick break. We'll come back. Coming up, as a matter of fact, in about 7 minutes, we're going to be talking to Tim Lelito. As a matter of fact, I guess when we come back, we'll be talking to Tim Lelito. He's a guy that had a cup of coffee here in Detroit, played for the New Orleans Saints, played for Grand Valley as well. Want to remind you, if you're looking to start a new career in an industry that is always essential, the heating and cooling industry, you can learn more today by simply visiting northwesterntech.edu. Check out northwesterntech.edu. Don't go anywhere. Tim Lelito kindly joining us next on the Baligian and Bell Show. All right, right, welcome back in. Glad you could join us wherever you may be. It is the Baligian and Bell Show here on the Woodward Sports Network. Kindly joining us, a guy that spent some time not only in the National Football League, but a league that we hold very near and dear to both of our hearts, the GLIAC. And gosh darn it, did I miss GLIAC football this past fall. I can't wait for it to start again. But this is a guy that has a unique perspective that maybe not a lot of other people out there can share. Let's welcome him in, former GVSU Laker, former New Orleans Saint, and even a little bit for the Detroit Lions as well. Local guy Tim Lelito kindly joining us. And Tim, really appreciate you joining us today. How are you, sir?
I'm great. Thank you guys for having me on.
All right, we'll try to get hooked up with Tim in just a moment. Things like that are going to happen, but no doubt about it. We'll check in with Tim in just a moment. Joik, I know I've said this to you before, but I'm going to say it again, and it's funny when you go to the Wayne State website, they actually have a countdown clock to the kickoff, and it's just like every day I see it, I just I get sick to my stomach. Tim, hang with us for just a second. We'll get to Tim in just a second. Unfortunately, we had some technical difficulties. All right, let's try it now. I believe Tim Lelito is kindly joining us. Tim, are you there?
I'm here. You guys can hear me?
Yeah, gotcha. Now, we apologize about that. We have some rookies behind the ones and twos. Appreciate your art once again. Good job. What's up, Tim? How's everything going on your end?
I'm going great, guys. Thanks for having me on.
No, appreciate it. I know you're back in the area, and we'll talk about that in just a little bit. But it's funny. A mutual friend was talking about the unique perspective that you can provide to this. Dan Campbell, let's face it, I think he got everybody fired up with his introductory press conference. You hear it all the time. I know it doesn't mean anything to you guys as athletes and former athletes, but I think it means a lot to the fans to win a press conference. What was your take on that?
I absolutely loved it. I thought he did a great job. I mean, knowing Dan Campbell, being around him for a year, I feel like he's just that guy. There was no, like he said, he's not going to come out there and say any cliche things or anything like that. He came out there and said, hey, it's going to be rough. It's going to be a rough go of it for the first year or two or whatever. But, we're going to get knocked down and we're going to bite, scratch, and claw and fight on the way up. So he is that guy, and I'm excited to have him here in the city. So it should be great.
Yeah, just to harp on that a little bit, more. One thing I heard from players who played for Dan Campbell is that his ability to take guys from different cultures and different backgrounds and bring them together and form this tight knit group. Did you experience that when you were with Dan Campbell?
Absolutely. I feel like it extremely helps when you got a coach that has been a former player and has been in the locker room, been in this situation. So having that guy to bring unity to not only a position group but to a whole team is going to be quite incredible, and I'm excited to see it.
What did you see about him? And again, Tim Lelito kindly joining us, former GVSU Laker, New Orleans Saint, and a little while here with Detroit. What did you see back then that jumped out to you about him? I mean, was he a guy that you looked at and you thought, okay, this guy might be a head coach one day? What really endeared him to you, Tim?
Really just him taking over the position and getting guys in the right positions. Like he made, like, I played offensive line and then I played, backup tight end, backup fullback and things like that. So he made sure to get me and the rest of those guys, Ben Watson, and the rest of the tight ends, and that's a difficult position to play, right? They're playing offensive line and they're playing wide receiver, so they have to know the whole offense. So besides for the quarterback and probably the center, I think tight ends are right up there, have to be the smartest people on the field. So for him to be able to put those guys in the greatest position to win is extraordinary.
It is such an interesting point that you bring up about tight ends, and unfortunately for the Lions, they took a tight end a couple of years ago, a cornerback this year. But just expound on that. I mean, you're an offensive lineman. One day they're saying, hey, Tim, we'd like to try you at tight end. You're ready for a go? There are so many moving parts when you're talking about a tight end and so many responsibilities, especially for a young player in this league. That's not as easy as it may sound to people.
Right. Well, like I said, I was playing offensive lineman, and then kind of that fullback role, that they don't really have a fullback role anymore. It's kind of being phased out, and they kind of use that tight end as as an H-back or whatever. And in New Orleans, was a little bit experimenting with. Obviously, they use that sixth offensive lineman. So I would not also play tight end, but come in and play fullback as well. So it's man, those guys have to be so intelligent.
For sure. For sure. Real quick, you spent some time with the Saints, the Titans, and the Lions. Just with your experience with the Saints and then coming to Detroit, what was the difference in the coaching staff that you noticed?
Well, I was here when oh crap, no, I'll forget his name. Just part of the coaching staff. To me, it was everyone wasn't cohesive. Like everyone knew what to do when we were in New Orleans. Here it was like, okay, well we're doing this on the offensive line, but it's not lining up. It's not meshing up with what the running backs or even what the tight ends are doing. So being on the same page is huge.
For sure.
Yeah, good statement there. Tim Lelito kindly joining us. Hey, Tim, I would be remiss if I didn't ask you about Drew Brees. You had an up-close and personal look at one of the greats of all time, and it's fascinating to hear Joik talk about his experience playing with Drew Brees and just the preparation that he puts into it. What did you see on your end from your time in New Orleans?
Well, just like you said, with Matt and those guys, those elite quarterbacks, it's all preparation. I mean, Drew honestly was the first guy in and the last guy to leave. When we would have offensive line dinners and stuff on Thursday, that Drew was in there at 5:30, 6 o'clock in the morning, watching film, breaking down film, getting a workout in, whatever. And then he was doing the same thing, after our third down session and our 2-minute session on Thursdays. And he would still be breaking down film at 8:30, 9 o'clock at night. And, we would have to order dinner for him, and he would get there, and then they would bring everything to the table. So it was, like you said, the preparation for those guys is incredible.
Tim, did you and your guys, I'm going to bounce back to Dan Campbell a little bit before we talk about your days in the most underrated football league there is, and that, of course, being the GLIAC. But did you and the boys, ever have conversations about Dan Campbell? And I asked Joik this a lot. Maybe you look at a guy and you go, that guy has head coach written all over him somewhere down the line. Was that kind of the mentality amongst you guys that, he got you all on the same page and you knew that the roads led to something like this opportunity in Detroit?
Well, yeah, you just knew he was going to have the opportunity in 2015, I believe, when he was with the Dolphins, and he got the interim head coach down there, and it was like, man, he knows what to do, and you could see players rallying behind him. So, down there when he was with the Dolphins, so it was great to see him come to New Orleans and bring that same type of energy and excitement for all those guys.
Good. That's good.
All right, you want to get the GLIAC thing going? I know you've been waiting for that, Joik.
Yeah, I've been waiting for that. I've been waiting for the GLIAC. So, for people who don't know that Tom Lelito went to our arch rivals, right? And we're probably not their rivals because we never beat them until as of recently. Question, your time at GVSU, how was it for you? What made you choose GVSU out of all the schools that were recruiting you?
I chose GVSU because I was first on their list. I knew they wanted me. There was a couple other teams still in the mix. Later on, were talking, but they were just talking, and it kind of goes back to that. Jerry Maguire showed me the money, and GVSU showed me the money. They said, "Hey, we want you. You're our guy. We want you to come here," and that's what I wanted. I didn't want to be someone's backup plan. We got this guy over here. But if he doesn't sign with us, then we'll take you. And I was like, no,
Right.
I don't want to be the backup guy. And so
I want to be
that,
the guy.
and yeah, exactly. I want to be the guy. And two, um, Grand Valley allowed me to be a dual sport athlete. I was really passionate about track and field and discus and shot put in high school and in college. So they allowed me to do that for a few years until obviously injuries happened. So, but yeah, that was the main reason, was that I was the guy. They wanted me to be the guy there, and so we did.
You know what, Sean? Because I tell my nephew all the time, if you have talent, they'll find you, right? You want to go to a school, you want to go to a university where when you go there, the way they recruit you, the way they make you feel, you want to make sure you're getting the type of treatment you want, because that's going to be more than likely the type of treatment you're going to get for the next 4 to 5 years of your life when you go to college. And so me going to Wayne State, it was a similar reason. They really wanted me, right? But I tell you the story about how my mom got me to go there, but they really came after me hard. Now, when I went to Grand Valley for my visit, they had a guy by the name of Ashton Martin coming in. He was a little bit before you, Tim, and he was transferring from the University of Toledo. And they were saying, oh, this is our guy. This is our guy. He's coming in. He's transferring from a D1 school. And, you know, when a guy transferred from a D1 school down to a D2 school, just automatically you think, oh, this guy's better than everybody else on our team, right? He's going to be better than, half the GLIAC, right? So he's going to be starting for us. And so I said, you know what? I'm not going to even get a shot here, right? And so let me look at my other options. And that's when Wayne State was, like you said, they showed me the money. And that's huge. That's huge. Now, I think, Tim, did you get the Grand Valley around 2009, 2010? Was that your first year?
2007 was my first year.
First year. And then we played, and then we played about 2 or 3 years against each other, huh?
Yeah, I think, what was your last year, 11?
09.
09.
09.
09 was your last year. So your last year was my first year playing. So I got redshirted in 2007, and then I got a medical redshirt in 2008. And 2009 would have been the first year that I started playing. So my really freshman year would have been your senior year.
They put 10 in the box that game. I remember that plain as day. They put 10
They
in the
did.
box.
We had to. We had to. We had to.
I was, we went into that game. I've never seen that in all of my years of playing ball, that they will put 10 guys in a box and say, hey, beat us with the pass. And we didn't pass the ball. I threw one pass to Bronco. I threw a pass we ran Wildcat. I threw a pass to our quarterback who was out at receiver. And I faked the handoff. I dropped back. And I had a receiver running a post and I had the quarterback running a fly right down the sideline. And the safety chose to go with the post, so I hit my read as the safety. Safety bit on the post. I threw the touchdown pass on the sideline, and the quarterback catches it in his hand on a touchdown, and he just drops it.
Oh.
Just drops it. Bronco, his name was Bronco. I'll never forget it. And he came back to the huddle. And he looked me in my eyes and said, sorry, Joik. I tell you, Grand Valley beat the living snot out of us. They really smacked us over the head.
Hey, I don't care what anybody says, and Tim, you can speak to this. I think that Grand Valley and the long-term success that they've had has been great for the GLIAC, because you know what it tells the rest of the teams? Yeah. You better get your shop in order. And it's so when you go into Grand Valley and win, it is an achievement. Tim, I'll tell anybody that'll listen, and you can speak to this. Game day at Grand Valley is unlike anything else
it's crazy.
In the GLIAC.
No, crazy.
It is a crazy environment out in Allendale. Yeah, speak on
it's
that,
absolutely
Tim.
incredible. So we started. I remember we started doing the walk down, through the parking lot, and that got real cool. Guys started beforehand. We were like parking down at the stadium and kind of coming in, like through the back door, if you will. But having the Laker walk down now, coming right through all the fans and right down through the band leading the way. It's incredible. The atmosphere, the stadium holds what 17,000, 20,000 people now. So they're freshly renovated and great job that they did there. Like you said, it's nice because it's a small, I'll say small school, even though we still have 27, 28,000 student enrollment. But you have that small school feel with a big time atmosphere there, and that I think comes along with the great job that they did putting into all the facilities that they have there. So
Yeah, for sure.
like you said, just having those fireworks go off after every touchdown is pretty cool.
It is. I remember, so your freshman year, you will remember this. You guys went to the national championship game.
hmm
Right. And so I remember you guys were having it was like a banquet when they had both teams at the banquet. And
Yep.
they were kind of, right? And so you remember around that time where they had the 3 contestants up for the Harlan Hill Awards, and it was showing like a quick 30-minute clip of each player. You
Yeah.
remember that?
Yep.
And
I remember
after
it.
after each video, you guys would stand up and clap for the person who was up for it. You would not standing. You guys would just clap for him, right? And then when it came to my turn, before they even played the video, the whole Grand Valley team stood up and gave me a standing ovation before the video started.
Class.
That's when I
We
started.
went nuts.
That's when. Yeah, you know what? And that was the thing that we talk about with I talk about with Sean, that when somebody from the GLIAC or a team from the GLIAC goes on to a national platform to play, we're always rooting for them. So, for instance, like I would tell Sean, I can't stand Grand Valley because y'all will always kick our butts, right? But I always respected your play. You guys will always kick our butts. So I hated Grand Valley. But at that moment and at
Always
that
kick
time,
your butt.
well, yeah, always did. I always have a good game, but we'll never win, right?
Oh, yeah.
Never win. Yeah, and so we go there, and they give me the standing ovation before the game starts. I mean, before my video starts, and it was at that moment that I said, you know what, I don't like you guys, but I respect the hell out of you guys.
Yeah.
I respect them.
I think that's a great point. Tim, you know what? I talk about this all, when Wayne State made their run to the championship game in 2011, it was amazing to me how many people felt the need to say, hey, I'm a Husky, but go Warriors. Hey, I'm a Laker, but go Warriors. You've seen it happen for you guys. You've seen it happen to Ferris State.
Yeah.
It's a GLIAC thing, right? I mean, there just seems to be this natural, love and appreciation rivalry. Don't
the
forget
culture.
that. But,
That's the culture. That's when I say the culture.
Yeah.
Like, we need to get the shirts that say culture. That's just the GLIAC culture. Like, when we plan, like, in the GLIAC, it's going to be some chirping. There's going to be a lot of talking. But when you leave the GLIAC to go play, say, Abilene Christian, right? And, playoffs, you're playing these guys. You're representing the entire GLIAC.
Absolutely.
All right, you're representing us. We want the country to know. We want the world to know that the GLIAC is the best Division II conference in Division II. Like, the GLIAC is the best. We're the best, and so we produce a lot of athletes into the NFL. Like, we have a lot of great talent. Like, we actually have quantity now in the GLIAC.
Yeah.
With NFL talent, we have quantity now.
Yep.
And so, I mean, I play with 3 or 4 guys who got an opportunity to play at the next level. And so does, Grand Valley. They have countless players that are able to play at the next level. That's still playing now.
How about Judon? The kid's a flat-out stud.
Brandon Carr still kicking.
Yep. Hey, Tim, let everybody know what you're up
Valley's
to now.
still
We
got,
really
Saginaw
appreciate
Valley's
you.
got their guys.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, for sure.
Absolutely.
Yep.
There's GLIAC pride, man. There's no doubt about that. Hey, Tim, before we let you go, let everybody know what you're up to. Obviously, you're in the area. We're happy to have you here and everything, but let everybody know what you're up to. And I know you're busy, and is it safe to say you're a businessman as well? Give everybody a tip in regards to what you're doing.
I am. Actually, my wife and I own a fitness club up in Port Huron, Michigan, Afterburn Fitness Club here. So, yeah, well, the last, I don't know if I have any tips right now because the last year has been a little rough on the industry. So, but we're moving forward. We're opening things back up. We're trying to do it as smartly as possible, and get people back in the gym, get people excited to work out again, excited to be back around other people and you know, just getting getting to their fitness goals. So we're really excited about that.
I love it. And anybody in the Blue Water area, that region, up in the Thumb area, make sure you check out Afterburn. No doubt about that. We certainly want to support our own, and especially a guy as great as Tim. Joik, anything else before we let Tim go?
Oh, no, man. Hey, Tim, it was great talking to you, man. Let's have some more GLIAC talk later, man. We got a lot to talk about.
Absolutely, man. Thank you guys for having me on. Appreciate it.
All the best, Tim. All right, Tim Lelito kindly joining us. It is, Joik, I'm going to say it again, it is fascinating to me. The Big Ten is screw that team.
Screw that team.
That's everybody's mentality in the Big Ten.
Always.
The Big Ten is screw that team. The SEC and the GLIAC are SEC. GLIAC. You know what I mean? It's amazing, and it's you know I've seen it work. Their success is our success, I think, is the best way to say it when you're talking about GLIAC football.
And I think that's a great, and also I think it's a great recruiting tool that when a team goes to the next level, and these recruits see other teams pulling for that university, that it gives that university some more pull on grabbing more athletes. And that's probably, it can be a part on why we're not grabbing some of the top athletes in the country in the Big Ten, except for probably one school.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah, and they're pulling all of them.
We all have, that's one thing that we have to all accept. I don't care if you're a Badger fan or a Spartan fan or a Wolverine fan. There's Ohio State and there's everybody else. I mean, just until it changes. And you know what, Joik? It wasn't that long ago. There was Grand Valley and there was everybody else in the GLIAC.
It was.
And it's amazing how things can change.
Yeah.
You know, Saginaw will get cute for a year or two. Wayne State has had a couple of great teams. Ferris under Coach Anise has lit it up.
Before they left.
Ashland got it lit up with Coach Owens.
And that, you know what, though? I was talking to one of my best friends who I played with at Wayne State, and we were talking about how we could have been a really good football team if we had a consistent quarterback. You know, I went through my time at Wayne State where I had a different quarterback every single year. And I remember playing against Ashland, and I said, wow, we had a quarterback like that. They had a quarterback by the name of Billy Cutnam.
Mm-hmm.
You remember him?
Lit it up.
Lit it up. Oh, it was a battle. That wasn't even a quarterback versus a quarterback game. That was probably I would say that's probably one of my greatest games I ever played.
Yeah, who ended up winning that game? I don't recall. Who ended up winning that game?
We barely won that game. We barely won. We were losing 33-20.
How did you guys win that game, though? I don't remember. Can you help me out?
You seen the game, Sean. Sean called the game, actually. So he knows everything. He's just pulling. He wants me to kind of toot my own.
He was a superhero. I'll say it. He won't say it. He was a super.
It was a good game.
Find his touchdown. It was superhero-esque.
All right. So but sitting back and watching Billy Cutler that game, the things he was doing with the ball and the way he was fighting his receivers, if we could have had something like that on Wayne State for my 4 years there, we're competing. Like we're competing for a championship every single year, a national championship every single year with a quarterback like that. That guy was amazing.
Art, can I ask you a question? You ever play pinball? Are you familiar with pinball?
Yes, I am.
Okay, I want you to think of when you pull that lever or whatever the hell it's called back, and the pinball goes and starts bouncing off the bumpers and all that. Now translate that to the football field. Somebody took Joik out of the backfield and fired him like a pinball. Fired him like a pinball onto the football field, and he just bounced off people all the way down the field to the point that the guy that was broadcasting the game started laughing during the call. You don't laugh during a winning touchdown. That guy is supposed to be dramatic and building it, but it looked like a pinball. It was like he told everybody, I'm a pinball and you're not bringing me down. And bring, just bounced off of people. It wasn't a straight line. It was, I'm going to hit this, I'm going to hit that, I'm going to hit this, and I'm going to end up in the end zone. I started laughing. I mean, Joik, that's the truth. I mean, I started laughing during the call. It's like, you got to be kidding me. This is fake. It was pretty cool.
It was cool. It was a good time. It was a good time. Like I said, glory.
Oh,
day.
He acts so humbled about
No.
yeah, it was an okay time. When you just shared that story, people giving you a standing ovation, I'm giving you a compliment right now.
Yeah.
But when you share that story, people giving you a standing ovation, you give yourself a little bit of credit.
Okay. Thanks, Art.
You're welcome. That's something you would tell me. What is happening?
Okay.
Okay, thanks anyway. Did you raise your hand? I said thanks, Art. Like, what more do you want from me, Art?
Steve said Marshawn Lynch-esque. Yes, it was. It really, he just,
Good time.
It was fun. Steve said, "Nah, I want the Big Ten to win a national championship." Steve, I'm serious when I say this.
I want that.
Do you have any idea how it would improve the perception of this conference? It would be amazing. I mean, college football is perception, whether you want to admit it or not. It is. And Steve, I'm with you. I know people don't believe me. Would I hold my nose if certain teams won the national championship? Of course I would. But what people don't understand is the success of Ohio State is going to give you some leverage. But what happened when Michigan State flirted with greatness for a couple years, and although it was short, to have top 5 teams, to knock off top 5 teams, to go to the playoff, even if you get crucified in the playoff, those are things that help out the conference.
It does. It really does. For us to win a national championship here would definitely change the perception of how people perceive the Big Ten and also the athletes in the Big Ten. Because right now, we're not doing too hot.
No. And it's
and it's sad to see because I grew up a Big Ten fan. That's all I knew. I was not even a NFL fan. Well, I was a bigger NCAA fan of the Big Ten than I was of the NFL. Like I had favorite players from who was that? Charles Rogers to the running back for U of M and Askew to just different players just around the Big Ten, and I was like watching these guys in awe. And that's aside from our varsity football team of my hometown. But
sure.
And I just love the atmosphere of the Big Ten, like going to the games and
it's awesome.
And then MSU getting a first down, and every time they get a first down, what do they say in the crowd?
It's awesome.
What do they say? Do you know what they say in the crowd after every first down at MSU?
I don't pay attention.
1, 2. They were like 1, 2, 3, first down. That's every first down.
Then there's the key play, and I love when it's a packed house.
Arnaz Battle, those guys.
I went to that freezing cold game in Nebraska where by the end of the game, like nobody was there, but it's when your boy Amir Abdullah was there, and the go green, go white chant on each side of the feet was awesome. And when I was at the Rose Bowl, it was amazing. I'm sure you guys saw it on TV. It was probably 75-25 Spartan fans there. And so when Go Green, Go White started in the Rose Bowl, it was chilling. I'm not joking. It was like, ooh, this is cool. It was amazing how many people were there. But no, to your point, I've always said this, and I hope that people take this in the right context. We in Big Ten country lead the world in telling people what we're going to do. We do.
You think so?
Yes, because we can't talk about what we did. Does that make sense? We tell people that we're this. Well, maybe the SEC is the best.
Question.
But we're second best.
My question to you. This is my question to you,
right.
Sean. Who wants to go to the school that's not feeding you that? Who wants to go to the school and say, listen, we haven't done anything in the past, but listen, we'll be okay in the future.
Do you know what? I think Steve brought this up. This is the point that Steve made, and I agree with this. Better players would want to come to the Big Ten if you're actually going out there and winning the big games. It's one thing to talk about winning the big games, and it's another thing to go out and actually do it. And so I think that's what. Did you see that? Did you see that that thing that was the Nick Saban recruiting thing that was leaked of Nick Saban talking to recruits? Yeah. You're a stud. You are Joik Bell. You are the first 6-star athlete in the history of stars, okay? If I listen to what Nick Saban said, I'm going to Alabama, period.
Oh, 100%.
Done.
I'm going to tell you this.
I'm going to Alabama.
I'm telling you right now. You know what makes people big fans of kids of college sports?
Winning.
Is winning. And what else is it? Seeing these guys on video games.
Oh, Did you hear that segue?
That was a beautiful segue.
He is.
Man,
Seeing
you're on
guys-
fire today.
I'm done. I'm like I am.
listen.
Chad's gonna fire me. He's so good. He did. Listen, I see the writing on the wall.
Mm-hmm.
He's doing all the updates now. He's a master at segues.
It's gonna
I'm
be Sean
done.
in our
I'm
in
fired.
Sean's
Now
basement.
listen. Now listen.
Let's go.
And I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna tell you this though. I was a big fan of the Big Ten because I had this game. I had a PlayStation, the very first one. I'm dating myself, and we had a thing called Game Breaker. Do you remember that game?
Yeah.
NCAA Game Breaker.
Yep.
And it was a video game just about or NCAA Game Day. They had these different games where you can go on there, and whenever I felt like the game was cheating, I would get so angry. I would grab the CD out and I would slam it on the table, and I real hard.
Games do cheat. I don't care what anybody
Yeah,
says.
and I slam it on the
They
table,
cheat.
and then about a couple hours later, I'll calm down. Like, I want to play the game again. I go put the game in. Now it doesn't work. Congratulations, Joik. You played yourself. You played yourself.
All right, I want to talk about the EA game in a second, but you talk about aging yourself. I hope there's some people out there that can relate to this. Do you know what the college football game I played was? It was called Bill Walsh College Football on Nintendo. That was my jam. And the greatest thing they ever did, I'll never forget this. The greatest thing, because you know what a nerd I am. I'm a nerd. I openly admit it. The greatest thing they ever did on Bill Walsh College Football is they had like this. What's the best? This Masters level where you could go take on one of the great teams of college football past. And it was like, so you could play the 1978 Washington Huskies.
Oh, you can do that now.
But you got to remember, okay, this
do that now.
is 1925. So when you have an opportunity, I'm like, oh, I can go be the Miami Hurricanes of 1983. It was so what I'm saying, I'm backing up your point. I mean, that was the biggest thing in the world. Is like when they came out with that football game, it was so stupid because they didn't have the real logos on there. They didn't get it trademarked. But it was Bill Walsh's college football, and this is right after he went back to college football and went to Stanford. It was the greatest thing on earth. And it was like 1978 Washington, 1981 Michigan, 1983 Miami. That was the coolest thing. And a lot of people out there, including yours truly with the newer versions, because I get my ass kicked by my kids, have been waiting for college football to come back from EA Sports.
They have. I've definitely been waiting for it. I would play with my brother, so my god brother, and we'll play at his house every single weekend, all day, to the point to where his mother would say, "Hey, you guys get off that game and come read for 30 minutes." Oh, okay. All right, Mom. We'll come read for 30 minutes. And then after we read for 30 minutes, right, to an hour, which we actually enjoyed once we started reading, and still make us write a paragraph about what we read, and then we'll have to present it to her. And then that was her way of saying, get off that devilish game. You guys are not going to be on the game all day.
There's got to be more than one person. One person actually said that yes, I remember Bill Walsh College Football. That was my game changer in the 90s. I'm serious. That was my game changer. When Bill Walsh College Football came out, it was like, holy crap, this is great. Because like for the first time you were like Tecmo Bowl had likeness, and anybody who played Tecmo Bowl, and I'm sure you heard the stories of Tecmo Bowl, Bo Jackson, you couldn't tackle him. He was a superhero in the game. You couldn't tackle him.
Hey, you see down here with Marcelo, he said so true.
Yes.
So that's my god brother, right?
Uh-huh.
And so,
what's up, Marcellus?
Yeah, and so real quick, so I remember he'll beat me in the game, or I'll beat him, right? And so as a kid, you get mad when you lose in the game. Like, all right, you used to it. You get mad when I beat you in Call of Duty. So we get so upset, and then the first thing that comes out of our mouth, right? Well, you can't beat me in real life. You can't beat me. It's like childish
Stupid
stuff.
trash talk.
It's
Yes.
stupid trash
Yes.
talk. Obviously, you can't beat me in real life, but like he knows he can't beat me in real life. But I'm just playing, bro. And but we'll have these like this little playful banter just of us playing the video games, and then it got to a point to where his dad would come in the room, he'll start playing with us, and so we're literally in there all day playing the video games. And then whenever my godmother would get a little bit upset, my goddad would say, "All right, guys, you guys keep playing. I'll go in there with her." He'll go in there, he'll calm it down so we can play a couple more hours. And so it was great times growing up, man. Waking up to Malto Meal. You guys know what Malto Meal is? You know, malto meal, like hot cereal.
You're talking to Grandpa Walton over here. Of course I know what malto meal is.
Oh, I used to. Oh. So I got introduced to malto meal by my godmother, and I eat it all of the time. So I remember I made it. She made it one weekend. I brought my son over, and my son said he wanted some Captain Crunch. I said, well, just try this one time. If you don't like it, we don't ever have to. You don't have to try it anymore. And he had to be about 4. He had to be about 4 or 5, and he tries it. He's been eating it for the past 10 years. The past 10 years, he's been eating it nonstop.
Oh, I love it.
Love it.
I love
Great times and the memories.
Can I tell you something, though? All right, just for the older generation, because it sounds like we take our lumps, we get destroyed. But that magical day where you finally beat your kid, when I beat my son at Madden, was the greatest day ever, and I'll tell you why. I flipped the controller at him, and I said, I'm never playing you again. And it pisses him off to this day, and I hope you're watching, Jack.
Yeah.
He taunted me for years, and one day, I beat him on the last play of the game. We could play 500,000 times, and I'll never beat him again. But on that day, I flipped my controller, and I said, I'm never playing you again.
What day was that?
Greatest day ever. It was 2011.
What day?
I think it was a Saturday. I think it was after one of Wayne State
You say
games.
you'll never forget that day.
No.
So
But what I'm
So what
saying,
is that day?
I know it was 2011. It was after a Wayne State game.
Joyke's
when
praying
you
for
guys
that
were
day
playing
with
in the
me at COD,
and
and
I'll
it'll never
never
happen.
listen. It's been 10 years. I'll never play him again. He knows that. He stopped asking. Why would I ever play him again?
I'm sorry, Sean. You had some echo in the background. Raise your hand next time. Go ahead, continue, Sean.
Well, I'll never play him again because I'll never beat him again. Why would I play him again? That'd be moronic of me.
Yeah.
Why would I give my power back? I've
your
got
power.
the power. My power is I beat him one time, so I retired as champion.
You talking about why would I give my power back?
no way.
Reminds me of that movie, Two Can Play That Game. Go over there, argue with him, put all your energy on him, and then leave.
Yeah,
you know?
Why would I do that? He has to live with that memory of that loss to his old man for the rest of his days.
That's true.
Right?
That's
I'm
true.
never going to beat him again. He's going to crucify me.
Hey, Art, are we still on for Friday?
We're not going to do this right now because if you
Are we
look at
still
your
on for
text-
Friday?
if
Yes or
you
no?
look at your
Yes or no?
text
Yes or no?
messages,
Yes or no?
I
Yes or no?
unresponded. You never responded.
Yes or no?
Who do you have
Yes
on
or
your
no?
team?
You don't need to know who I have on my team.
Okay,
Are we
fine.
playing?
Friday at time.
Friday at what time?
9 o'clock.
I told you 8 o'clock last time.
Oh, let's be a diva. 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, bananas,
8 o'clock.
tomatoes, whatever.
First you said 10, and then you said 9.
You also said that you would tell me your team members.
I don't need.
never
You don't need
texted
to know
them
my
me.
team.
We're not going to make a graphic then.
We don't need a graphic.
Okay, fine.
It's gonna be graphic on Friday.
It is. It's gonna be. It's
you like
gonna be
you
me
like
in
that
my
wordplay,
lumberjack
Sean?
suit.
Sean, you like that wordplay?
That was
You
good.
like
That was
it?
good. That was
You
very
like
T
it?
Grizzly of you. There was some Detroit.
Kind of clever. A little clever.
Yeah.
A little
That
cleverness.
was okay. That was okay.
No, it was good. It was great.
It's almost like he's doing
It was
one of
great.
those updates in the back, right?
Hey, it's Drake Bell here
It's
reporting
gonna
live.
be
Graphic
I don't like
Reporting
this.
live.
Joke's gonna
Report-
be like,
Uh,
I'll see
red-
you on Call
red-
of Duty.
I see you guys on Friday. It's gonna be a what's the a 10:31? It's gonna be a 10:30.
Oh, he's touching his earpiece too.
Hold up, breaking
Joke
news.
is media trained.
I am so getting fired. I am so getting
Breaking
fired.
news. We have Art. Just in, Art has been let go.
Hey, Joey, can you send us the break?
What are we coming back with on the?
Oh, let's talk about the EA thing. You were all excited about.
I am excited about
Let's
it.
do it.
I'm gonna count
So-
down. 5, 4, 3.
This is Drake Bell here with Baligian Bell Show. We'll be back.
Hey, it's Joey from
We'll be
Woodward
coming-
Sports, and I am here in downtown Fenton at Bridge Street Exchange. This place has so many amazing things for guys and ladies. This is the hidden spot that you got to come check out. I'm talking thorough good boots, best boots ever. They have barware. They got the Stormy Cromer hats. They got Carhartt hats, a huge Carhartt selection. They even got Snoop Dogg underwear. So go check them out, bridgestreetexchange.com, and use the code word WSN for 15%.
Art, you are. So during the break, Art says to us, he goes, Joik's getting too good, man. I don't like this. I want late Joik. I want Joik showing up late. We're all going to be out of a job. I'm so fired. If I'm back here tomorrow, I'm going to be surprised.
I'm never late. I'm always on time.
Oh.
When have I ever walked in here late?
To me, early is on time is late is unacceptable.
I know. So what's early?
What I'm saying is,
What
early
time does
is
the show start? Sean.
10:45.
No. Sean, what time does the show start?
11.
Sean, you got to have my back on this.
I'll come in 10 minutes before, 5 minutes before.
I will.
3 minutes before. Today you were an hour early for some reason. I don't know if there was like cryptocurrencies around here that you were collecting as you walk around. I don't know what happened.
Yeah.
But you were early an hour.
Yeah.
I thought it was daylight savings time.
That's what you thought it was?
No, do you know what? Listen, do you know what the rule of thumb is? The rule of thumb is you get here early in case something happens. Is that the best way to say it in the industry?
Why are you talking so politely? Like, Joik, I'm gonna tell you. Usually it's nice.
You know,
if
no.
you're
Do you know why? He doesn't. He's
I know.
not familiar with the business.
Okay, can we make a thing 15 minutes early so I could check the mics, check the camera?
Fair
My
enough.
job is more than
You can
just
do
being
that. You can
intelligent, funny.
You can do that. You can do that in 5 minutes.
Okay, anybody that knows me.
You sit there behind the thing, and I sit in this chair, and you move a camera. What? You need
I want us
15
to
minutes for
switch
that?
role. Can we switch roles one day, please? Please, I would love it. I don't think that you understand the work. I'm not complaining. I love it. It's the best job ever.
Well,
But
then
I'm
watch
just-
your mouth.
it's
Be
just
blessed.
15
Be
minutes
blessed.
early.
Accept your blessings.
Now
That's
we're
your
getting
blessing.
media Joik. I
That's
don't
your
like media
blessing.
Joik. Media
That's
Joik
your
is like, I'll
blessing.
show up 5 minutes early and you'll like it.
Yeah.
I don't like media Joik.
Yeah. And you're gonna love it.
Scott said, no, all you need to do is teach Joik how to walk the post and you'll be all set. Yeah, you can do DJing. Here, you
I
know
can
what?
definitely work the ones and twos.
Can I
can
tell
definitely do
you?
that.
Can I
DJ
tell you?
Joikey?
Can I tell you, Joik? I am the least punctual person anybody knows except for work. Like the running joke in my family is I will be an hour late to my funeral. That's like people have said that for years. I'm not. And if my friends are watching
I'm
right
always
now,
forgetting things.
I'm the least punctual person. I told my friends to be over at 5 today. I promise you they won't be over at 5 because they know the chances are A, I won't be there at 5 or B, I won't be ready at 5. So usually
You're like Thanksgiving dinner.
Yeah,
1 o'clock that ends up being 4 o'clock.
yeah, one of my friends always says to me, I add 15 minutes to you.
I'm sorry, Sean. Art raised his hand. Go ahead.
Okay, go ahead.
Wow. I'm kind of upset, Joik, and I think you should be too, considering he said that he's inviting his friends over at 5. I didn't get a text. You didn't get a text.
No, This is a
I actually
trial run.
I got a text. You didn't get a text.
Oh boy.
Oh.
No, I
apologize.
told you.
Okay.
This is a trial run. This is like exhibition season for when the big barbecue comes in a couple weeks. It is. It's a trial run today. Okay. Me and my boys, we're gonna try to mass produce. You want the truth? I'm making 20 pounds of wings today. I'm making 20 pounds of wings today.
Can you bring some?
They're going to be in tomorrow for the smoke show.
Chicken
Yes.
wings.
Mike goes, I'll be there at 4:30. That's the type of person that Mike is. But he knows there's a good chance. I'm in all likelihood not going to be ready to go until 5:15. That's just me.
What was instilled in me is early is on time is late, and late is unacceptable.
You know what though?
In
you know,
this
it's funny?
business,
In
yes.
college,
work.
You know, in college, it was that. It was just that.
It's
right?
respectful.
No. In college, it was that. You know, when you're early, you're on time.
And I'm the professor.
When you're on time, you're late, right? So, and I'll give you an example of what that means. Winter conditioning starts at 5:35, right? But if everyone on the team is there by 5:30 and they're on the line at 5:30 and one person is not there, they're going to start at 5:30. And if you're not there, you're late. Right?
Yeah.
Right.
Absolutely.
Right. You see what I'm saying? And so when I got to the NFL, I always had that same perspective, right? So I would get there 10 minutes early, right? And no one's in the room because everything is right. Everything is prompt. They don't care. They just want you in that room when that meeting starts. Now, you can stay after and you can study on your own. You don't have to be in the room to study on your own. You have like these services. You can study in your locker. All right? You can study at home. You don't have to be in the locker room. And so for me, only time I will get to the stadium or the facility early is when I'm trying to do something in the weight room or doing some treatment or something like that. When I come here, I'm not about to come here and just sit in this chair I'll get to you in a second, Art.
Thank you.
I'm not about to come sit in this chair and watch Art play with himself for 15 minutes behind that behind this desk. You know, I'm a businessman. I'm gonna be handling some business before I come in. And so that's what I'm doing. Go ahead, Art.
Yeah, are you respectful of other people's time?
Yeah, I am.
Then show up early. Thank you.
No.
It stresses me out and makes my job harder when you show up at 10:55. That's all that I'm saying.
Hey, Fish is right here. He can sit right here in this chair.
Do you know what?
Fish isn't you though. Fish isn't you
Joy,
though.
can I give you a story? And this was your senior year, and I didn't really know the SID Jeff Weiss yet.
Yeah.
And this is before you could get things on your phone. I MapQuest. I had never been to Muddy Waters Stadium in Hillsdale, and I MapQuest your senior year in the pouring rain. I MapQuest how I get to Muddy Waters Stadium. It was absolutely pouring rain. I mean, it was torrential. I mean,
Not the whole game though.
No, the second half was awful though, and it was raining early. Then it stopped, and then it started raining again in the second half. But on my ride there, I usually plan to get there an hour early, right? MapQuest, yes, there was a thing called MapQuest.
Yeah, I remember that.
MapQuest, the route that they told me to take, there was construction. I got lost. So Jeff Weiss is calling me like 15 minutes before the game going, dude, where are you? And I go, I have no idea where I am. Like, I did this MapQuest and things like that. So I got there literally as the national anthem was playing. I was ready to go, but I felt all discombobulated. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Because it was like I didn't have my normal.
You didn't have your normal.
I hate the
How
hour.
was the show? How was the show though?
Oh, we had a good broadcast.
Because
I had a good partner.
I'm gonna give you a funny thing about that particular game. We were going into halftime, and I was leading. Both teams were rushing, and they said going into halftime, leading our rushers, Jaquiki Bell.
Did they really call you Jaquiki?
Jaquiki Bell.
I'm a big fan of Jaquiki Bell.
I said
Marky Bell.
Jaquiki. Well, when did I get 2 Q's in my name? Jaquiki Bell.
Jaquiki.
Going in halftime, leading our rushers, Jaquiki Bell. I said, okay. We'll see what happens the second half. Let's see what happens the second half.
Yeah, that was. I remember.
Like Michael Jordan, I took it personal.
Yeah, you did. Yeah. It was. Remember it well. But no, and so now that we got that established, EA Sports bringing back the college football game. I wonder what kind of deal was made to bring that back, because likeness and that is an issue today. Let's be honest, using the likeness of others and things like that. I mean,
they make you sign. So listen, when you go into these universities, right? When you go into them, before you even sign, so when you sign your letter of intent and you go there, you have to sign more paperwork giving them the permission to use your likeness for whatever. It can be to sell merchandise. It can be for this. Right, and with the things that's going on now with players being able to get paid for their likeness, the same way players get paid for being on Madden, do the players get a check from EA Sports on the team? Do they all? I mean, I'm asking. Do they all get a check from EA Sports for being on the video game with their likeness? I think that's a fair assumption. I think they should. If they're using my likeness to be put on the video game, just like with the NFL, we get Madden checks every single year that we're on the game.
So, listen, what we're going to do, we need to take a quick break. We do want to talk about some of the Lions stuff. We talked to Tim Lelito earlier about his take on the new head coach, of course, DC Dan Campbell. What is next for the Lions? We know who the quarterback is for the short term, in my opinion, and I think that's exactly what it's going to be. What's the rest of the team going to look like? We're going to get into that. First, I want to tell you, Grow Green's Dank Deals program rolls on with deep discounts on the grow gear you're looking for. Crazy deals like GH Flora Bloom 6 gallons for only $50. How about Gavita Flex 750 systems for just $250 and Green Cleaner Quartz only $49. Head to growgreenmi.com to score a dank deal today. Grow Green knows that your time is money and is best spent in the garden. That's why they offer Michigan $50 flat rate shipping where they'll bring any size order anywhere in the state for just $60. Remember to mention Woodward Sports for a free shirt. Talk Lions wrap it up on a Tuesday next right here on Woodward Sports.
I'm looking to bring on another HVAC tech right now.
We are recruiting 5 to 10 techs a month.
We're looking to grow and expand. Every new tech we hire is from Northwestern Tech.
The hands-on training is fantastic.
They're always my first call.
We love hiring Northwestern Tech grads.
They come out trained and ready to work.
Our program is only 10 and a half months, and our next classes are starting soon. So why wait?
I'm looking to hire
Hire a graduate
of Northwestern Tech.
Northwestern Tech.
Northwestern Tech.
All right, welcome back in. Final segment of the show. Do you know why I like Dan Campbell? I like Dan Campbell. I told you about the winning the press conference and everything.
Right.
I like a guy that comes in and is realistic about what he's up against, and the fact that
I realize where his team is.
Yeah, I like Joik. I appreciate that. Don't you know what? I'm going to use the line that you used a couple weeks ago. Don't urinate on me and tell me it's raining. Right?
I didn't say urinate. I said don't piss on me and tell me it's raining.
Yeah, and you know look again, guys. This is a rebuild. It's a rebuild, and it's overdue. We all know it. And Matthew Stafford wasn't good enough. I think he was a good quarterback. I think he was disrespected in this town.
He wasn't good enough, or he wasn't in the best system.
I think he didn't have the best around him.
We'll say that.
And so what you have to do is you have to use your assets to get more future assets. The move had to happen. And it's funny.
It happened, and it happened at the best time. Honestly, I think
it had to happen.
It happened at the best time, and I don't think we get a better deal than that. And I told you yesterday, I truly believe this could have been part of the scheme the entire time. Brett Holmes coming here, and then going back to LA Rams and saying that what are you going to give us for? And they might have already knew what they were going to give him before he even got here.
Well, it's very possible. Yeah,
very possible. Because technically they're getting extra rounds in those drafts, in that draft anyway. This
is I'm going to keep saying this. This is the long game. This is a win-win for both teams. This is the Rams wanted to get rid of a quarterback that had sunk in the last couple of years and had a massive contract, and they got that contract off the books. They got an upgrade at quarterback. The Lions got two coveted pieces, first-round draft picks, a third, and in my mind, a guy that can be a placeholder the next couple of years. It's a win-win. I mean, it's now we can argue, and we're going to continue to argue, and you're all going to have to confess in a year or two that I was right, that Jared Goff isn't good, and Jared Goff isn't the quarterback of the future, but we'll have to wait for 2 years for that.
Who's arguing that, though?
Oh, way too many. You heard him yesterday. Did you see the people on Facebook yesterday?
We're not arguing that.
It's crazy. I think way too many people are. But whatever. I'm not going to go down that road again.
We're not arguing that. Come on.
I appreciate the fact that he's saying this is going to be 2 or 3 years. I appreciate that. And here's the point that I will get to about this. And of course, you're hearing other reports out there. And for me, the one that kind of stings, I'm not going to lie, is the fact that you could have had Carolina's pick. But this is the long game, and I'm totally cool with it. I don't think by volume you were going to get a pick as good as this one. I really don't. I could be wrong, but I think by volume you weren't going to get a pick as good as this one. But the reason why these extra picks are important, and I hope that they get more extra picks down the line, who are the wide receivers going to be on the Detroit Lions in 2021? Go. Okay, you have Quintez Cephas, who I like a lot, who I thought when...
Are we doing hypotheticals too?
Just right now. Who?
Okay, Waddle.
He could be. He could be. How about right now? He hasn't been picked right now. Because Kenny Galladay. Kenny Galladay might be.
He might be franchised.
Yeah, I think he's going to be. That's one man's opinion. I think he's going to be franchised.
Who else would you franchise?
You got the one. I think Marvin's gone. I think Marvin. To be honest with you,
I think he wants to be gone.
And it would hurt me because I think the guy is a lot better than they've utilized him. But Marvin should be gone. He should be gone.
Yeah. Great talent. I just don't know if he fits the scheme here. But great talent.
Did you happen to see, and I'm glad that Scott brought this up, did you happen to see Houston is asking for 2 firsts, 2 seconds, and 2 defensive starters for Deshaun Watson? Deshaun Watson has deleted all his Texans-related social media posts and everything.
He did.
He doesn't want anything to do, any affiliation with the Texans. Joy,
and that's with the team. He loves the city, and I don't want the people of the city to get confused with a player not wanting to be part of an organization versus their love with the community.
Joik, when it gets that bad, and I'm a firm believer in you have to do what's best for your team, they have to get rid of that guy now. They have to. You've gotten to a point now where it's that bad. I get it. You want to keep as much bargaining power as you can, but when it's that bad, you have to find a way to get him out of there and look to the future and everything. So what's the Lions offense going to look like heading into next year? And it stinks to have this conversation now, but we have to have this conversation now because I'll tell you why. I think there's a very legitimate chance that the Lions take a wide receiver at 7. I really do. And it's funny that you mention him. Yeah. And I think there are a lot of people out there that are going, don't the Lions ever learn? It's either wide receiver or a tight end. Or last year they took a corner. They have to. And the bottom line is,
you know what? You can't please everyone.
I couldn't agree with you more.
It's like politics. You can't please everyone.
Joik, you know what I always say? Here's my problem with the short-term draft thinking. I think people forget on draft day, that first draft day, that there are 6 other rounds that the Lions could make picks. That's first and foremost. And secondly, people can't look at 2021 on its own. It has to be 2021 in concert with 2022 and 2023. These 3 drafts are going to be lumped together because this is going to be your Detroit Lions by the time 2024 rolls around. That's going to be your Detroit Lions. And that's what this franchise is doing right now. They're looking at it, all right, we have a nice pick in 2021, but we have 2 first-round picks in 2022 and two first-round picks in 2023 at the very least right now, unless they decide to jettison one to move up or, God forbid, get an extra pick. So to me, it's almost like if you're going to be one of those people that cry because they take arguably the best wide receiver off the board in 2021, you're not looking at the big picture here.
They're not.
This is a big picture. Right now, the Detroit Lions are in a big picture thing. And if you're one of those people that you're looking for immediate dividends, well, I just want to see the Lions improve this year. You aren't paying attention to the right things. It's about building the foundation and building the depth on this football team.
Spot on.
Well, thank you. That's very nice of you.
Spot on.
I appreciate that.
So I'm proud of you, man. You're really getting good at this. Like, to see you from
day
one.
Can you talk to the boss? Can you talk to the boss and make sure he doesn't fire me?
No, he's not going to fire you. He's not going to let you go. He's not going to leave. He's not going to leave me to run the show. We'll go down the drain.
Steve, I couldn't agree with you more. Find a guy like Kenny Golladay in round 3. That is what successful franchises do. Could not agree with you more.
They're out there.
Find a guy like Joik Bell, an undrafted guy.
At the end of the draft.
And lock him up.
At the end of the draft.
And you know what? Unfortunately for the Lions, it seems like we talk about, oh, yeah, remember when they did that here? Remember when they did that there? It's not something that you see all the time. That's why you and I sit back and talk about Martin Mayhew's 2013 draft and go, wow, isn't that awesome? Well, newsflash, it was also 8 years ago. You know, that's what good franchises do. And that's why I like to hire a Holmes from day one, because I don't give a damn about his lack of experience at general manager. I don't. It means nothing to me. That's why you bring a guy like John Dorsey in to look over his shoulder.
Exactly.
You know what matters to me? That dude is a scout. That dude has been circled and talked about as a guy that has found value in the draft. That's how you build.
Question.
Yes, sir.
Were people around the NFL talking about how good he was because the LA Rams really wanted to get him out to get these extra draft picks by certain teams that are looking for GMs? Could that be it? Can that be also?
Well, I mean, you know the old routine, and this is what people.
It's kind of like what Scott talks about.
Yeah.
How people will call him, agents
Yeah.
will call him and say, "Listen, I want you to put this out about this guy. All right, put this out." And sometimes it's true, sometimes it's not true. Are they putting out certain things about certain people just because it'll benefit them in the long run?
All right, you know what? Can I use an example?
Yeah.
There was a rumor about a month ago that the Lions were interested in the Seahawks general manager. And the reason the Lions, you can't poach in the NFL. If for an equal job. And what I mean by that is if you're the general manager of the Seahawks and I say, I want you to be my general manager of the Seahawks, well, I can't do that. What I can do to poach you is give you a job title that is better than general manager. So if I said, well, he's only a general manager in Seattle, I'm going to make him general manager here and director of player personnel, which means he has the final say on every single roster option, okay? There is no doubt in my mind, okay, and none, that somebody put that out there. So somebody floated that out there so he could get a new contract from Seattle. There's no doubt in my mind. And if people don't think that stuff happens all the time, you're out your mind.
Out your mind.
You're out your mind.
You are out of your mind. I know people who have done that in this industry on that level, right? I've even known for some agents, right, who have players, right, who might be free agents, who when a player calls me, I say, listen, why am I not getting any workouts with teams? I can still play, right? And they'll tell them, like, listen, either give me some workouts or you're fired. And now these players who, when they say that, now the agents, they get the work. And now you have a workout. And now you sitting back. The team didn't pick you up that you worked out for. And now you're at home. You're sitting back and you thinking, why have I had these workouts before? And then they realize these agents are calling their buddies on these teams, asking to get him a workout just so he doesn't get fired. And that's happened to a few players that I know. And they had to end up firing their agents anyway. And so there's a lot of that going on in the NFL. It's a lot of people who have integrity, and there's some people who don't have integrity. And that's why it's important to weed out a lot of people.
It's lying season. That's the term. I'm telling you, when Scott comes in on Thursday, make sure you ask Scott about lying season. That is the term that people in the business use for post Super Bowl leading up to the draft. It's lying season. Do you know what people are going to say? Hey, I really like that Joyke Bell guy. He's coming up on free agency March 1st. I heard he's got a bad attitude. I heard maybe you should take a deeper look at his medicals. I heard he's got some issues with his knee. People do that. You talked about it. People try to hide. They try to hide you.
They try to hide you.
We're going to hide you.
What happened?
They don't care about your best interests. They care about the team's best interests.
What happened during the Lions when they had Ziggy down there? Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Can
They
you
hit
tell
him.
the people?
They hit him.
How did they hide him?
My buddy, and I'm serious when I say this, my buddy said in December, he goes, I'm telling you right now, Ziggy Ansah is going to be a top 10 pick. People laughed at him. So when Jim Schwartz, he was coaching down there, when Jim Schwartz and his staff saw Ziggy Ansah down there, okay, and they saw him the first day when there wasn't just a ton of people down there and teams and scouts and everything, they saw how good he was, so they kind of held him off to the side or put him in positions where he wasn't able to show his raw ability. Now, in fairness, by the time the draft rolls around, people know. People know. They know and there was no doubt in anybody's mind that Ziggy Ansah was going to be a top 10 guy. But you have to remember, this is an unheralded guy that hadn't played many years of football, that was at BYU, that it is, back in the day, BYU was something, but BYU's brand kind of fell and everything. Of course they're going to hide you because they want to keep you for them. And the problem is, if that's great, if you go high in a draft choice, you're going to get your money from being high in the draft choice. But what about a guy like Joyke? What about a guy like our guest earlier, Tim Lelito? They're going to try to hide those guys.
Yeah.
If somebody knew how well Joyke could play, I'm being serious now. I'm not kissing your butt. Do you think that he would have been a practice squad player for 2 years? Honestly, I mean, let's be adult here.
Those
there's
are the
no
politics.
way in Hades he'd be on anybody's damn practice squad team, and that's the reality. It's lying season. Yeah,
it's the politics of the game. It's definitely politics.
Well, I'm going to be interested to see what this receiving core looks like, because right now, today, as we sit here, what is it, February 2nd? My daughter's going to be 16 in 2 days. My gosh. Oh, I just said that, and it was like, how is my little girl going to be 16? Oh, I'm so old. No, but Joyke, Right now, as we sit here, there is Quintez Cephas and for the Lions. Now, if you don't think that they are strongly considering wide receiver for their number 1 pick, and I love what Jenna said here, Rome wasn't built in a day. If you are one of those people, if the Lions pick a wide receiver at number 1, I'm going to lose my mind. This isn't about 2021. This is about what's going to happen after you have this draft, after you have the 2022 draft with 2 first-round picks, and, oh, by the way, after you have the 2023 pick with 2 first-round picks. Right now, today, that's why, to his point, when you bring up Waddle, Joik, I agree. If you don't consider that, I think you're short-sighted. You have to look at this like chess. You have to think 2 moves away now, man.
Yeah, and what was wrong with this ankle exactly? Now, was it a high ankle sprain? Was it fracture?
I forget exactly what the injury was. I know this. Everybody said he shouldn't be out there for the championship game.
He wasn't supposed to be.
And he showed he shouldn't be out there for the championship game.
Yeah.
How do you tell a guy no, though? I'm serious.
You can't tell a guy no. If you know he's not going to be here.
Are you going to get hurt? Are you going to get hurt? No. Okay, cool. Am I going to hurt your draft status? No. Okay, go out there for a couple plays and say you played.
And that's it. Just to say you played in the national championship game, and that's one thing that you can never get back as a player. And you want to cherish that moment.
No question.
Because you're a part of that. And you see with guys who go out there and they might have just had knee surgery.
We saw that.
Yeah. Might have went out there for the last play.
Yep.
They'll go out there for the last play of the game just to say, I took my last snap.
Can I gaze into the crystal ball for just a second, since we're having this conversation? Quintez Cephas, I really believe that they're going to franchise Kenny Galladay up and later trade him for more assets. Just one man's opinion. I think once he builds his brand back up and goes out there and shows that he's Kenny Galladay, because he's going to be the man here. Yeah. There are going to be a lot of balls going his way. You know what I mean? I don't think he'll be here long term in 2 or 3 years. I hope I'm wrong because I love the kid.
Yeah,
but I don't think he will.
But at the same time, it'll be great to keep him here. So if we do go out and get a guy, say like Waddle, he has someone to learn from.
I love what Steve said. Trade at deadline. Steve, I couldn't agree with you more. Kenny, thanks for everything. You got yourself a big fat contract. Now a team that thinks they're a Kenny Galladay away from making a nice big run, flip that, baby. Flip that.
Hey, speaking of making a nice big run, we got to make a run here, guys. Thanks for tuning in to the Baligian Show. 1 o'clock. We'll love for you guys to tune in tomorrow. We got more stuff for you. Yeah, you want sports? We have sports right here at woodwardsports.com. Here at the Baligian the Bell Show.